As consumers, we are bombarded by it at every turn, like the Incredible Hulk being bombarded by gamma rays. But what makes some media endure, while others are banished to the forgotten black hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again? Who or what decides this? Hetero life mates Steve and Yahel want to know, and they want to know now. This is Obscurity Now. Hello and welcome to Obscurity Now, the show where we take a look at obscure media and decide whether it should be remembered for a little bit longer or tossed into the dark hole of obscurity, never to be heard from again. My name is Steve, and I'm sitting here next to my co-host.
Yahel, and you literally are next to me.
Yes, that's right. We're here in the same room for once. Look at this.
That's not even on camera.
It's not working. There. Here. That's don't you can I didn't say stop massaging, but yeah, so there you go. You get 2 episodes of awkward homoerotic activity.
That's right.
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm a little buzzed. I don't know about you. We have been drinking.
Yes, indeed we have. And you know who likes drinking?
Garfield.
Yeah.
Jim Davis.
Man, that guy must be so rich. Like, do you remember how big Garfield was, like, in the 80s?
Yeah, I used to, as a kid, like, buy the Garfield books. They were, like, long, rectangular things.
They were, like, the only thing worth buying at the school book fair.
Right. Yep. I would get tons of them there. So you were a Garfield head.
I mean, who wasn't? Like, I guess until Alf, and then after him, The Simpsons took over.
Yeah, I was really into Garfield as a kid, and I never, like... It's weird because I never remember, like, laughing while reading it. It was just, like, I don't know, but somehow mildly entertaining to read.
It was like, I don't know, it's like, here's, like, a cool-looking thing that's everywhere that everyone says is, like, good and funny, so I must like it too, kind of thing.
But like, it's 90% jokes about it being Monday.
Right. Well, that's the comic. You remember Garfield and Friends, the cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember that being great. Like, I think I remember it being better than what we're about to review.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Have you read Garfield strips recently as an adult?
Are you talking about, like, the weird ones that people have, like, redone? Or the actual ones?
Like the original ones. Have you gone back?
Oh, yeah, they're not funny.
Yeah, they're not good. Yeah. I don't know. And I knew as a kid, like, they weren't, like, funny, so I don't know why I was even into them.
I mean, it was no Far Side, that's for sure. No, it was, like, not even nowhere near Dilbert
They
level.
weren't even, like, clever, you know?
No, I mean, I would say it's, like, Jay Leno level of comedy.
Man, Jay Leno's got me to chuckle a couple times.
Really? Well, this is news to me.
But yeah, I mean, at least Jay Leno wrestled Hulk Hogan. You know?
Oh God, that
put him in a hammerlock for
the industry is still recovering from that.
Yeah. So yeah, Garfield. We've established we both don't think the comic strip is funny.
Right, but he was incredibly popular, and we were into it. Like, at the 80s book fair, it was all about Garfield, and, like, I remember books about monster trucks and karate. I remember those were the big sellers.
I remember Garfield.
Did your parents or anyone you know have, like, the Garfield suction cup thing that you put on the window of your car?
No, my parents weren't into any cartoon or animated
They thought Garfield was the devil.
They surprisingly they didn't. That was maybe the one thing. Smurfs, however, were literally like I'll never forget some guy. They invited some guy to come preach at our church who preached about the Smurfs being the devil and how some kid supposedly was killed by a Gargamel poster.
What?
I'm not even kidding. This is like a real thing that they preach. And and I was like 11, and even at 11, being a brain jacked Christian 11-year-old.
Yes, brain jacked.
Even I was looking at it like at this guy like this. Like, come on, bro. You expect me to believe this? They were trying to scare kids in the audience because, like, that was a special sermon where they didn't let the kids go to their usual kids' church that they had them going through whenever the preacher came out. That would normally bore them to death. I think that was supposed to scare them to death.
Wow, no one ever tried to scare me at church with
Anyways.
stories about Smurf, but that's way more interesting than what we're about to talk
Yeah,
about.
let's talk about
And
this.
that is, all right, so it's Halloween. Last episode, we reviewed a body horror movie called Brain Jacked. And on this episode, we are reviewing what has two names. When it originally premiered, it was called Garfield in Disguise. And it was later rethemed, I guess, for, rebroadcast. They called it the Garfield Halloween Special, which is much better.
Right.
Garfield in Disguise is just sounds...
It sounds like a working title or something.
Yes, it does. But, like, if you think about it, I think, like, all the books or whatever, or maybe it was even, like, the poster series, it was, like, Garfield in Disguise, like, Garfield in this, Garfield in that. So... at least the names of the other specials, if you look at them in IMDb, like that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make it any better, but that's what it is. But yeah, so anyway, we've established our history with Garfield, so let's get right into it. But first...
Welcome to your feature presentation.
All right, so the Garfield Halloween Special premiered October 30th, 1985, directed by Phil Roman, written by Jim Davis himself, who was also the creator. And that's it. Like, that's all that I have for the writing team. Also, produced by Film Roman Productions, which I feel like I've heard of that production company for other animated stuff, but... I didn't bother to click on it to figure out what else was there. Also, United Media Productions, whatever that is. And would you like to tackle this huge cast of voice actors?
Sure. We've got Lorenzo Music, who plays the voice of Garfield. Thom Huge. I don't know if that's what's pronounced Tom, but...
Tom Huge also used to work in the porn industry.
H-O-M Huge. I believe he was one of the porn actors in the gangbang scene in Brain Jacked.
Oh, nice.
Anyways, Greg Berger, who actually has a ton of credits, cartoon animated credits, I did see earlier. And C. Lindsay Workman, who played the old man, and he looks like an old man in his IMDb. But yeah, the who was the guy I mentioned? Greg Berger. He's still actively doing a bunch of stuff. He was in Crash Team Racing, the video game, pretty recently. The Avengers Assemble TV series. He was in some TV series called Last Man, which he was in another Garfield show from 2008 to 2016. So yeah, he's got a ton of stuff.
Nice. Well, there was more there than I thought.
But, Jim Davis, as you mentioned, none of these fuckers were good enough for Star Trek, so don't worry about that. But,
or Twin Peaks.
But I will say, Jim Davis has, written, it looks like he's written almost every piece of Garfield video media that's come out.
Yeah, this seems like a sort of Alvin and the Chipmunks kind of situation where the creators they just weren't... they're like, you're not touching my money cat.
You don't get the right combination of not funny, but maybe this will be funny by the end, but then it's not that I do.
Right. I'm the only one who can write Mondays aren't funny jokes. I'm the only one. But I mean, hey, he was right to do so because now I'm sure he's swimming in a money bin of money.
Yeah.
But got some fun trivia here.
I
mean, and if I say fun in the context of Garfield, it's really not fun at all. It just is, just like Garfield
I hear
is.
Jim Davis's blood tastes like water. It's all bland. This man.
Yeah. I'm trying to... How does Jim Davis have sex? He just doesn't? Or...
I'm sure he just lets... I don't know.
That went nowhere. All right. The boat that Odie and Garfield used...
He prefers to artificially inseminate his wife.
With a turkey baster.
Yeah.
All right. That works somehow.
He masturbates to a Garfield cartoon.
You're going to make me so much money. He sounds like Vince McMahon, too. All right. The boat that Odie and Garfield used to get to the haunted house is named Caroline, a reference to Garfield creator Jim Davis's first wife, whom he impregnated with a turkey baster. I brought it back around. All right. This is the first Garfield TV special to be based on original content. The previous TV special borrowed plot elements and jokes from the comic strip.
Nah, I think you can do quotes for plot elements too.
Yeah, exactly. And all right, there's only 2 more, and they're all so uninteresting. All right, while Garfield is flipping TV channels trying to find Binky the Clown in the opening scene, one of the channels features Orson Pig from U.S. Acres for a brief second. Do you remember Orson Pig in U.S. Acres? They were on the Garfield and Friends cartoon.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
They were pretty funny. I'm telling you, maybe we'll have to check the cartoon and make sure it actually still holds up, because I remember it holding up. But anyway, finally, Castle Thunder, heard multiple times throughout the scene where the old man tells Garfield and Odie about the... What? That doesn't make any sense. All right, ignore that one. So, wow. Let's talk our way through this masterpiece. All right, well, let's get to back to the history. Do you remember watching this as a kid?
Not this episode. I didn't recall it until he put on the stupid pirate hat, and then I was like, oh.
Well, that's the face. Like it's like such a cringe-worthy face
the
right
thing is,
there.
like, there's so many episodes of Garfield because I used to watch this on Nick Jr. I'm pretty sure, and that start off with Garfield just like watching something on TV,
Right.
He's in the box,
Right.
and then like they were used so. Dude, they must have had to like do such little original animation on
They
each
don't
episode.
even animate his mouth.
Right, they don't
My
animate his
God.
mouth. A lot of the scenes are like bare bones.
Right.
As far as the backgrounds
just like the
go.
comics.
Yeah. I mean, so much of it is just like him like walking up to Jim, like and whatever Jim's eating,
There was one line that I found. You mean John?
Yeah. Sorry.
There was one line that I found funny where Binky says, "If you don't exercise with Binky, you're going to grow up to be losers." I found that moderately snicker-worthy. Nothing for you, dead inside, Yahel?
No, nothing for me. I was just like, this is no Jay Leno.
Oh my
Who, by the
God.
way, is awful. I don't think.
Right. So
usually people will say, by the way, they're about to like say, hey, I'm not disparaging him, but I'm like, I am disparaging Jay Leno.
yeah.
He is not funny.
well, he also like ruined the Tonight Show for Conan O'Brien,
Yeah.
but that's another.
But it's all right. You know what? In hindsight, the Tonight Show was too little for Conan.
That's true.
He's a media mogul now, doing whatever the fuck he wants to do, and he deserves it.
You got that right. So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of notes here. I mean, basically, we got our opening with Garfield watching Binky, and Binky talks about trick or treating, and of course,
he's like, you need to exercise to get yourself ready to trick or treat.
right.
To be in shape to go trick-or-treating.
I mean, this is like almost all right. We did the episode on the Chipmunk Adventure. And, we talked about how that wasn't like the best written script, which was written by the creator. And I see very similarities here
This
to...
is way worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. But at least there is an arc for Garfield here. There is.
There is.
You breathe that sigh of disdain, but it's true.
But, I
there
mean,
is.
yeah, okay.
So, yeah. And then Garfield, he finds out that it's Halloween. He keeps going. I remember this because I did watch this when I was...
Garfield didn't know it was Halloween.
Right. How
The
could
concept.
you not? Right. Well, you have to tell it to the 6-year-old who's watching.
Right,
6-year-old
right. No,
you
I
and
get it, I
me,
get it.
possibly. Because I definitely watched this. It was pretty nostalgic for me, but not nostalgic enough to make me realize that it's not very good. And I do remember Garfield constantly going, candy, because I'm pretty sure I did that after I heard him say it. John shows up, and I have it written here, which I already said that I felt sorry for him. He reminds me of Dave from Alvin and the Chipmunks. All right, so let's unpack this. All right, so Garfield talks, but John doesn't understand him, or he does?
No, he does, right?
So how can he talk
have a
without
conversation.
moving his mouth?
Come on, man.
Telepathy? Was he brain
He's
jacked?
got 3 trapped treatments.
3 trapped. Oh man,
man,
this is turning out to be great.
If you did not watch the last episode, you will not understand.
Yes, please watch Brain Jacked, or else you're going to be lost.
In a way, like I'm sure the thinking is like, well, cats don't really talk, so he shouldn't be moving his mouth. But then it's just weird.
Nah, bro. They're just trying to save money on animation.
I agree. But yeah, and then obviously the scene with John ends with the whole like, thing where like Garfield's like, oh, I'm not hungry, but I guess I'll have a Danish. Oh, I guess I'll have. And then he takes like the whole plate.
Right, classic Garfield. Did you know he hates Mondays and loves lasagna?
He just loves any food.
I mean, just to not completely crap on it, I'll say for the time, I did think the animation was pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad when you only gotta animate 2 things.
Right. I have written here, Garfield tries his stand-up routine about Odie. I think being dumb. He does
being
a lot of
stupid, yeah.
Your stupid jokes, and then he comes up with the idea. Oh, if I take Odie along, I'll get double the candy.
Not a bad scheme. A little Zach Morris-ish.
That is very. Then he ditches Slater and keeps all the girls. I mean, candy for himself.
Right. Yeah, he said something like that didn't make sense. Like Odie could only be. The only way Odie could be stupider or more stupid is if there were 2 of him.
Right, yeah, something like that. Yeah. This is pre Young Mama jokes. So
I guess he's saying that Odie has reached the maximum level of stupidity a single being can reach. So the only way you can increase it is by adding another Odie to the mix.
Thank you for unpacking that joke
and then
for
your
all of us.
chances drastic go down, as Scott Steiner would say.
I think after that we jump into a song, which I was very disappointed to hear. Why does Garfield have to sing? Why do any cartoon characters have to sing?
It was not a good song.
No.
It sounded like the guy doing the voice can't really sing.
Right.
And then they do another song later on, and it's a different guy singing.
Right. And I have here, why does Garfield have to sing? Then Garfield goes to the attic to pick out costumes, and they decide to be pirates. Whatever, nothing.
John just happens to have like dog and cat Halloween costumes.
That says something about John, though, and his romantic life, perhaps.
I mean, but these costumes are like dog and cat size.
Well,
but
think he's into little people? Is that what you're saying?
But Garfield just found out what Halloween is. What is going on here?
Right. Well, and again, much like with the
John's killing his cats.
I know that must burn you up inside, you cat lover. But like this is kind of like the same sort of weirdness that's presented with Alvin and the Chipmunks again. It's like, why is a cat who walks on all fours like going and doing like little human kid stuff? Why is he going trick-or-treating and able to communicate with the people who open the door and stuff? Like,
and it's always normal for the humans that,
yeah
but these are meant for like dumb little kids.
But the whole nation was obsessed with Garfield in the 80s.
Yeah, but remember in the 80s everybody was 8 years old, I believe.
I thought you were going to say
it's called the 80s.
I thought you were going to say high on cocaine. But anyway, so they go trick-or-treating, then there's more singing. My God, kill me. They do a bunch of like gags, like, and it gets even weirder, like from here, like, because like, all right, Garfield feels a need to like mess with all these like costume kids. They're supposed to be kids. He like lifts up one sheet and there's nothing under it. So bam, there's evidence of one real ghost there. He pulls off one guy's mask and he's wearing a mask of himself. Like, what? I could just see the, I don't know, producer being like, hey, Jim, baby, we got to kill some time. We need some more of your patented Garfield gags to like throw in here for the Halloween thing. And this is all that Jim Davis could come up with because he's a hack. Let's see what else. Lifting up the sheet, nothing's there. Already got that. Okay, Garfield gets greedy and decides they want to take a boat to some more houses over a river. I guess the idea is that they're leaving the known world. If I'm reading like too much,
yeah, Garfield's like, oh, if we go over there, we can get like all this other candy.
Right. I mean, I can't believe like Jim Davis actually read like the essentials of like script writing, but maybe he did, at least for the plot.
Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here.
What? He's got to leave the Garfield and Odie have to leave the known world. Anyway, so.
But if he did, he would like put it that bluntly.
Oh, sure.
With no subtleness. He's like, this is like I wouldn't be surprised if he said, had Garfield say, now it's time for us to go on the hero's journey.
Right. I mean, if anything, this is all pretty basic Scooby-Doo kind of stuff.
But like worse.
Yeah, way worse. Plus, Scooby-Doo did it first. Anyway, they lose their oars. They get stuck on the boat. It just sort of floats. Then they land on an island with a creepy house on it. They go into it. And in there is a creepy old man. And what did you think of the creepy old man's voice as he told the story?
Just generic, typical.
Oh, yeah. It sounded like a radio announcer, basically. Right. It was not, I mean, if you could see this old man, I'd say they did an okay job. I remember being kind of freaked out when I was 8 years old watching this. Like, he's a creepy looking old man, but when he talks, he sounds like Tony the Tiger.
It sounds like kind of like that guy, the golden voice, the homeless guy that they found a few years ago who had been like a former radio disc jockey a million years ago. And do you remember they did like sort of like a GoFundMe for this guy?
Oh, I don't.
He's known as the guy with the golden voice.
Remember that at all?
It was a feel-good story. Like this guy had just gotten like down on his luck. There was a recession, and they found him.
Who found him? Hipsters?
So no, like this guy was just giving him money. The guy, when he said thank you, he's like, wow, you have an amazing voice. And he just started talking to him. Then he's like, well, let me record this. And then from there, the guy was on a Today Show. Steve, you're just not with it. Why aren't you with what happened in 2008?
But I record a podcast weekly, and no one's getting me deals for my golden voice.
Steve, this guy's voice is,
more golden than mine.
It'll give you an erection. it'll brain jack you.
All right, Jesus. All right, I get the point.
No. But yeah, this guy has a very golden, sultry voice for us.
Hold on, we're almost through this thing, you son of a bitch. Okay, so. So anyway, the creepy old man with the golden radio voice tells them a story about how pirates buried pirate gold onto the island, but for some reason before they left, they did some sort of deal. They don't say the devil, some sort of deal with someone where their spirits will protect the island or some other bullshit. Anything you want to add here?
No, it was very generic, something like that, something along those lines. And the story hadn't been told in 100 years and blah, blah, blah.
Something he ripped off from Scooby-Doo. The pirates aren't packed with the devil. All right, Garfield turns and says something to Odie. Then he turns back to the old man, and he's gone. Not only is he gone, but he took Garfield and Odie's boat. And just then, the clock strikes 12, and up comes the ghost pirates, which actually I thought looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked all right.
Sometimes they looked a little washed out. I don't remember them being so white. I mean, they were like white, blindingly white.
Might have been like because it looked like it was a VHS rip. So
right. And so Garfield and Odie go and hide in a cabinet to get away from the ghosts. Odie sneezes in the classic gab here. The cabinet's open.
Man,
and
you're sneezing that hard. Go see a doctor.
And then the ghosts come in to get them. They run out and jump in the water. Garfield can't swim. Odie saves them. Then they find their boat with the candy in it. Just somewhere on the shore. And then basically there's really not too much. They end up back at Garfield's house. And since Odie saved his life,
there's the arc.
Garfield gives him his share of the candy that he should have gotten to begin with.
Right.
So really, it's not really an arc. It's just him remaining the same Garfield.
He feels bad enough to...
to give him what was actually owed to him.
Yeah, or grateful enough, I guess I should
right,
say.
Right. So yes, and that is Garfield, the Halloween special, a.k.a. Garfield in Disguise. And so, is there anything else you'd like to add before we render this? No. I mean, did you just completely hate it overall, or...
Yeah. This was not good.
You didn't get any kind of nostalgic vibe from it at all? Because I got it a little bit. I mean, I'll agree with you, it's not good. But
I felt like as soon as like a couple things happened, like 5 minutes into it, I was like, I feel like I've just been reminded of every single Garfield episode.
that's true. That's I can agree with that. Yeah. All right. Let me. Oh darn it! I didn't even do the right bumper first. So we'll go ahead and obliterate it. So goodbye.
Wait, you're obliterating it too.
Yeah, I am. I'm like. It wasn't funny. Like the animation was good. I mean, I guess
okay,
if you're into, I mean, for the time, I
The thing
guess.
is, like they had so little to animate.
Right,
better
right,
be
right, right. I mean, I don't know. Is there? I don't know even anyone who's like an actual fan of Garfield here in 2021 who's just like,
I do. Jim Davis.
Like-
obliterated. You're right.
like, did you watch the Bill Murray one? I was going to say Jim. No, all right, me. Boy, you really hated it, huh? Okay, obliterate.
The heathens have spoken. You are obliterated.
This is quick. I think you'll appreciate this.
All right, so you heard it here, folks. That is the end of Garfield the Halloween Special. Obscurity.
Maybe the end of Garfield.
Obscurity Now wiped it away from existence. Actually, I've heard that like people have been like reworking the Garfield stuff, like fans, and actually make it funny. Like I remember I saw one where they just erased all the word balloons and only had like one at the very end, and somehow it still worked.
I'm sure, like, it wouldn't take much. But earlier you had talked about Phil Roman, the director, and you said that he sounded familiar.
Yes.
And I wanted to say this because I knew, like, we would hate... I knew we would both not like this. So I wanted to save something. So Phil Roman has done a lot of stuff. But so I'm going to go over a few things that you may know him from.
Okay.
And some things you may not.
Okay.
Do you remember him as the executive producer of Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm?
Is that the animated one?
Yes.
No, I don't remember that. Wow.
How about the animation executive producer of The Critic?
Oh, yes. Okay, that would
is
be
great.
it. That's a great show. We're going to review that someday.
Yeah, The Critic's awesome. He also did Twisted Tales of Felix the Cat. I used to like Felix
Love
the Cat.
that. Yep.
He did Bruno the Kid, a bunch of episodes of that, which I was not into. The Mask, 54 episodes.
Hey, isn't Bruno the Kid, isn't that one voiced by Bruce Willis? I'm pretty sure it is.
From 1996? I think you're right.
Yeah,
We might
because
have to revisit that.
that's like his nickname,
Right,
Bruno
right.
or whatever.
He was executive producer on The Mask for 54 episodes.
Okay.
He was
Not
the
bad.
executive producer on 81 episodes of Bobby's World.
All right. Were you into that show? I thought it was okay.
Not really.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Never
Couldn't get
enough
past
to
the voice. He was executive producer, animation executive producer on King of the Hill for 36 episodes.
All right, great
and
show.
here's where I think you really know him from.
Okay.
On 161 episodes, he was the animation executive producer of The Simpsons
I thought you were going to say that.
from
yeah.
1992 to 1999.
All right.
Probably the years you think are the better ones.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So what the fuck was he doing on here, Steve?
Hey.
He was so good. No. I'll tell you, these years of The Simpsons were good despite this man.
Hey, this special actually won an Emmy for
saw.
outstanding. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where maybe it was just the
What were the
right.
other three entries? Cartoons by Hitler? Like what? What could they have been? What could they have been?
Little Orphan Annie goes to the
Oh,
concentration
God.
camp.
And Frank was, oh, God. This is...
You're the
cut
one.
This out. Edit this out.
No way, it's staying. Wow. Okay. I mean, apparently, if you worked on this show, then you got to work a lot more down the line. And plus, it won an Emmy. So, but here we are in 2021, and we can recognize that it's not that great.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not on Phil's list of things he busts out to show people.
Hey, girl. Did you know that I worked on Garfield,
Kombat,
the
King of
Halloween
Realm?
Special?
No, he's busting out Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm.
That's
first.
when he's at the cons trying to get the cosplayers to come
I
back
see.
to his room with him. Then he talks about Mortal Kombat.
Show you my katana.
Yeah.
All right, anyways.
All right. Well, that. Did you know that it's Halloween, Yahel?
Yeah, it's...
Do you love Halloween?
Yeah, I saw the Bing special.
As the, as do I. And I love creepy stuff. And if you're looking for, all right, we love that you bothered to listen to Obscurity Now, but we're more cringy than creepy, I would say. But I wrote a audio drama podcast. It actually premiered last year called Ray Can't Sleep. And I would love for you to listen to it this year too, since it's creepy and it's Halloween. So here's the trailer. Check it out.
My name is Ray, and I can't sleep.
What happens when you try to sleep?
I feel like I'm dreaming, but I'm awake, and I can't move.
I think you were sleepwalking. You emptied your pockets, sat back down, and went back to sleep. There were some rough-looking characters on the bus, so I grabbed your stuff and sat next to you so no one would try anything.
So you saw someone who needed help, and you helped them? That is the most un-LA thing I've ever heard.
I've gone over the audio, and I think I found something.
Something good?
That's the guy. The one they've been talking about. Are you sure? Let's get him.
Do you think it's aliens?
It's odd, but I don't think it's anything that crazy.
Are you sure? Or maybe you're just being closed-minded. I just don't know who to trust anymore.
When there's nothing left to believe in, believe in sense.
All right, and once again, that is Ray Can't Sleep, available wherever you get podcasts. Or I even got an old-fashioned website for it, raycan'tsleep.com. No apostrophe, just CANT. But anyway, it's
it's good. It's really well done, really well produced. I've known you for a long time, so I was obviously going to check it out as a friend. But I was I expected it to be well produced, and even I was impressed.
Thanks, man. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say about Garfield before we sign off here?
Jim Davis is a bit of a
It's a
cunt.
hack.
Right?
The C word. I don't think we've had that in this show yet.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Jim Davis, how old is he? He's got to be. We were almost done with Garfield, right? He's up there.
That one hack wonder. Anyway, I don't know. This Halloween, you might want to skip the Garfield Halloween Special because it's pretty lame.
Yes.
Maybe your 6-year-old will dig it, but animation's come a long way since what year did I say it came out? 1986? Yeah.
6
All right.
5, yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us here in Yahel's dungeon for the final episode in his garden of Obscurity Now. And we will see you next week when we continue to unearth even more obscure media. See you around.
You've been enjoying Obscurity Now, a podcast that's recorded live to tape and streamed to Twitch and YouTube. Subscribe so you never miss an episode or hilarious quip. Take us with you by following the download links provided in the show notes to wherever you get podcasts. And take notice of our various social media links. If that's what you're into, I'm not here to judge. And make sure you join us live next week at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific as we continue to discuss more obscure media only on Obscurity Now.